Now moving to some advanced features of Zimension. You have seen me doing everything in just one scene. But usually games doesn't work like that. A game can have multiple scenes, multiple levels, and each scenes have a different environment and everything. So for that, you can actually create multiple scenes in Zimension. So for that, you can click on create scene. Now you have two different scenes. Now everything is blank because the scene has changes, the world has changes. So let me adjust the environment. This time let's make it a little darker. So I'll just change the ground to grass. Okay, something like this. And an environment, I don't want light, like very minimal. Let us simulate a moonlight situation. And there is, a faint blue light. Yeah. And yeah, we can keep the sky or we can choose something. So you can see the scene is all set. Let me add some walls here so that it looks confined. And where's the character? Yeah, let me move the character inside. Add some dark trees. You can actually group things by selecting control plus multiple objects and move them together, rotate them, and you can press Ctrl G to actually make a group. Now each time you can select a group and move them together. Now these items are basically grouped together. Okay, and you can also do some functionalities based on group. You can move the group and all. You can have some collide event on entire group rather than just one tree. So this way you can create certain things. And since you're working with multiple scene, the important thing is how do you switch the scene. So here is the button, like next to the scene name you have the name of the scene. You can also set this as a base scene, like the scene that appears the very beginning, and switch on. This is a very important event which actually switches the scene. So switch scene 2. Okay, I'm creating this new event over here, and let's move to scene 1. Okay, so now we've switched to scene 1, and let's add some event which will uh, drag us back to scene 2. So if we collide with this tree, then we will move to scene 2. Switch scene 2. Okay, let's test it out. First I need to collect the key to open the door. Now you can see the scene has been switched. But you must have noticed like how things took time to load and everything was abrupt. So for that we have a very special setting. Okay, the scene is switched. Here you can switch the transition from snap to fade, and you can select like how much delay you want. Let us put a delay of like 2 seconds until everything loads, and fade to be like 0.6 seconds. Okay, let's play and see. So what will this do is it's gonna fade out the scene, pause for a moment, and then load the other scene. Let me collect the key. Open the gate. Now you see it fades. Now it waits again. I hope things are loaded behind the scenes, and voila, now the scene is loaded smoothly. This way you can have multiple scenes, and you can also have initial scene, during the menu bar where there's nothing, and then you can make multiple levels. Add one more scene. Now let's make this scene as default one, right? So we don't do any, will not do anything fancy. Just make everything dark, even the environment. Change to this, completely dark. Okay, and we'll make this as the base scene. So what will happen is initially the UI will show, like on start, this UI will show, and on start will create an event which will move us to scene 1. Switch scene 1. We'll add a new event and save it. Okay. Oops, I refreshed. I hope the scene settings are saved. Yeah. So this scene should be switched on. Okay, I think the event was not created. Anyways, switch scene 1. Okay. And this is not the default scene. Scene 3 will be default. Again, I'll check if our UI. Yep. This is also not set. Switch scene 1. So if I click on start button, it will trigger this event and switch to the main scene. But I also want this to be in a fading manner, and since a lot of items are loading, I'll pause for let's say 3 seconds. I think 2 will be fine, and transition to be 0.6 seconds, and let's play. You can see there's nothing. I'll click on start. Now you can see the entire game is loaded. If I go, open the door, collide with this tree. Now scene 2 is loaded. So that's how you can create multiple scenes and make your different game levels.